Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. If you're just tuning in, we should be seeing, yes, it is live. Excellent. Welcome to the stream. If you're just tuning in, basically today, is it fixed? That's the question. Is the custom mod pack fixed? Now, what we did, just going to go ahead and get it loaded up here. What I did in between streams is I tried a whole bunch of things to fix it, and it seems like it worked about 70%. And the question is 70% improvement good enough to make it playable? And that's what we're going to be testing today, is we're going to be testing it. The idea is going around, here's the idea, and live streams always sort of play out how they play out as they go, but the idea for today is to try a whole bunch of different scenarios and things and see if it will stay stable enough to be playable. That's the question. So, just going to load it up here. What the mod pack currently is right now is I have everything on except for better FPS and Buildcraft. Buildcraft, for some reason, I don't know if it's just the mod pack, maybe some incompatibilities or something, but it basically, with the fluid rendering, it takes way too long to render fluids. Now, a couple things that have changed in between streams, a couple things that I've changed to try to get it to run better. So, disabling better FPS and Buildcraft, we can keep Chisel in, it looks like. And basically, here's the thing. There was the issue of taking too much CPU. We discovered that. I don't know if we discovered that in the last stream or when it was exactly, but too much CPU. When the CPU is running, it seems like when it's running around 80 to 90% usage is when we really start to get some slowdowns. Like, that's not the only cause of the slowdown, but it is definitely a big cause of the slowdown. So that is that has a lot to do with it. Now, I'm just trying to figure out how to rearrange these things, because another thing that helps is putting it in full screen, but that means it's harder to see everything that you need to see on the screen because it doesn't fit as well. So you'll see it's sized a little bit weird on the screen. We have to sort that out and figure that out as we go here and readjust the scene and all that. So, here's the thing. If you guys are just tuning into the stream, we are currently testing if this mod pack is in fact fixed. It may be fixed. Disabled Buildcraft, it's still in beta, so probably once they bring it out of beta, it'll actually work. I don't know if it might not even be a Buildcraft problem, it might be just my computer or something. So, we've got, what we're doing today is trying to do a rigorous test to see if it's stable enough to be playable, because the last thing we really want is to start playing the world, and then it doesn't work, and then we have to change all the mods, and then the world corrupts, and then we can't continue, and we have to restart. That's not what we want. So today is going to be testing it, trying to do, if you guys have any suggestions for what situations to test it in. I did test yesterday in the, what's it called, the amplified mode, to see, because that says it requires quite a beefy computer to make it work in amplified world generation. And I did see a couple of slowdowns there, but it seemed fairly reasonable in amplified mode. So, like, basically we're going to be testing about a whole bunch of things. So, I had a few notes to tell you guys here that happened in between that I did, and just trying to read through them. You know, you kind of, sometimes you write notes too long form, and then it's like, wait, what exactly? Too many notes, doesn't make sense. Okay, so, cutting CPU usage was a big deal. It's currently running at 80% at the moment because it's loading the game. Once the game is loaded, though, it goes down. So when the CPU is running at 90%-ish usage, the 80s and the 90s, I found that it was really slowing down the game a whole lot. We would get a lot of lag spikes and things. So fixing that, and the trouble was how to fix that, because here's the thing. I don't know if any of you guys know this or not, but I'm actually always streaming and recording at the same time. So, and they're using two different encoder settings. So that means it's something that was never even possible before this PC here. But okay, we got the game full screen. There we go. Also, it takes a minute to sort of stabilize itself. So let's go ahead and just switch to the task manager for a moment because we need to do something there. But yeah, I'm actually streaming and recording at the same time with 2 different encoder settings, and what that means is that it's like double for the computer to do. And if you guys want to know why I use 2 different encoder settings, I can explain that later. But at the moment, we're just getting this set up to go. So, we've got where in the task manager is Minecraft? It's not there. Oh, Java, there we go. Found it. Whoop, okay, it's moving. It's moving. You try to click on it, it moves. Okay, so what we have to do, there's 3 things we have to do. We have to reduce the CPU usage, and we have to prioritize Minecraft a lot more, and make it full screen so that it doesn't get interrupted by a lot of things. So, let's go set Minecraft to priority, and set the affinity to the last 2 cores and the hyperthreads as well, and then set the priority to high. So it won't lock up the computer because it's not using the first core, so it can be as high priority as we want. The other 2 cores are free for whatever else, including OBS. Okay, so this should be good to go now. So now, let's go ahead and trying to fit everything on the screen here. Okay, let's head back into Minecraft. There we go. So, let's see how this is running. Test amplified. We're testing the amplified world at the moment. I'm gonna see how this runs. So OBS, basically the OBS CPU usage for that particular program, when we're moving around, it uses around 40%, 30 to 40% of the CPU just for OBS. And Minecraft uses whatever is left over. And we need to keep it below the 80% total for sure. Okay, here we are in amplified world mode, and it does take some time to adjust and get itself running more smoothly, but we should be seeing it speed up if everything works as it did yesterday. Now, it does appear that loading the chunks definitely causes a big slowdown for the game. I don't know if that's just because it's in amplified mode, but currently the CPU is running above 90%. Okay, well, around 90%. 98%, 89%, stuff like that. So we're trying to reduce the CPU usage. We're also trying to prioritize the game better so it doesn't get interrupted. What seems to be happening, because normally running the game in a window, right now it's full screen mode, so that's why it looks a little bit weird on the screen over there, sort of overlapping the text and things. We're going to have to reorganize all that. But, oh, you can see it's already speeding up a bit. It just has to get all this stuff loaded in better. It seems to take a while to get all of its stuff sorted out. But, basically, okay, so, here comes the question. How do you reduce CPU usage when you have a game running, and a stream running, and a video being recorded all at the same time? 2 different encoder settings, one for the stream, one for the recording. Now, you may be wondering, why am I using 2 different settings? The reason for that is because for the stream, Twitch likes a constant bitrate, right? So I set it at 3,500, yeah, I think it was 3,500 kilobits per second for Twitch. And, oh, actually, it says right there on the screen. Yeah, about 3,500 kilobits per second that Twitch is allowed to take, and it keeps that bitrate constant, which means if things on the screen start moving really fast, really crazy and all that, then it lowers the quality, and then that's when you start getting the, like, if you see in videos sometimes, it starts getting a little fuzzy and things when there's too much motion on the screen. That's because, oh, it's speeding up already, that's nice. Seems to be getting slightly more stable. It's not as stable as it was yesterday, but it did take a number of minutes yesterday to speed up. You can see the debug pie is actually improving. And oh yeah, I think we do have to exit full screen mode and then go back into it. I think that's what we have to do to get it to prioritize properly. So exit full screen mode. And there we go. OBS has grabbed it. And then back into full screen mode. Okay, so encoder settings. Oh, yes, you can see the frame rate has improved dramatically. It's a whole lot more yellow and orange than it was red. Like it was red before, now it's a whole lot more yellow and orange, which is nice. That's an improvement, but OBS. So, when you have a whole lot of motion on the screen, the quality goes down if you have a constant bitrate, because it's like it has to fit all of that different changing information into a small space in time. Basically is what's going on. A small size if you have, like, it's allowed to do 3500 kilobits per second. So hopefully you guys don't notice that too much on stream, but I want it to be able for the recording. So if ever I take part of a Twitch stream and put it, like, make it into a funny video for you guys, that kind of stuff, then I want it to be able to have the full quality. And what a constant rate factor, I think, is what it is, similar to a variable bitrate but different. Okay, the CPU is in the 80s. Oh, of course, the Twitch preview is still running. Hang on, that always takes some CPU. Okay, let's pause that. There we go. The CPU no longer is in the 90s. It suddenly is in the 60% range. There we go. That is nice. Okay. Anyways, the other factor is saving hard drive space, because in a thinking pack, we do a whole lot of programming with computer craft and things, and a whole lot of just staring at a screen that doesn't really change much, right? It's just like some text and things, and the CPU is now around 60% instead of 90 and 80, which is very nice indeed. And you can see our FPS is getting closer to 60. We're sort of waiting for it to speed itself up a bit. So, saving disk space, because when you have a constant bit rate, it is constantly sending, in this case, constantly sending to Twitch 3500 kilobits per second. Doesn't matter what is showing on the screen. If the screen is like static and nothing really moving, it still stays the same bit rate all the time, so it will keep, if you were recording that way, it would keep the same file size all the time. Now, with a constant rate factor, which is similar to a variable bitrate, it uses as much space as it needs to for what is going on. So, basically, if you have a simple screen staring at computer craft or something, it won't use very much space on your disk. It'll be very small. So that's very nice. So we can go through several minutes, and it uses a very small amount of space because it only uses the data it needs to. So that's very nice. So that's why I like doing two different settings, but it does slow it down a bit. I did find switching the recording settings to the same as the stream, still recording and streaming at the same time, but basically, I guess, just copying the file or something instead of actually encoding it separately. It sped up the game somewhat substantially. However, that obviously causes the issue of it takes a whole lot of extra space. Okay. So here we are, you can see we're getting pretty close to 60. I was getting, yesterday when testing this, I was getting around, like, above 100, I think. Anything that we can change. Anything that we can change. We got, VBOs apparently speeds it up, but you can see one thing here. Oh, do we have VSync on? We shouldn't have VSync on. We do have VSync on. Okay, there we go. Yes, turning off VSync. You can see, first of all, seeing that debug pie on the far right over there. You can see the purple section is the tick, and that was taking way too long yesterday. Not yesterday, last week. And now, it is very reasonable. And that is very nice. So we're getting, if you can see that in the top left, we're getting above, well, we were getting above 100. There we go. We're getting above 100 frames per second. You can see by the meter in the bottom left that it's not as stable as we'd like it. Every couple frames or so is slower, but it's acceptable. Now, to reduce CPU usage, you guys might have wondered, how did I do that? Basically switching the stream from 60 FPS down to 30. So OBS is encoding at 30 instead of 60. I've been doing 60 for a long time, but for this we're going to have to do 30, and might as well do that anyways, because if the game is struggling so much, it's not really worth showing it to you guys in 60 anyway, because it kind of struggles too much. So, cut it down to 30. It cut OBS's CPU usage dramatically, or it seemed to at least. Not sure entirely if it did or not. Okay. You know what? We're in amplified mode. Let's go into a super flat like we were testing last time, so you guys can see the comparison between this time and last time. Test super flat 2. There we go. But yeah, switching it from 60 to 30 seemed to bring the CPU down like maybe 10 or 20 percentage points, which was very, very helpful. There we go. Okay, so we are getting some reasonable CPU, some seriously reasonable CPU. We are getting FPS above 100. You can see it's 120, 113, 110, 128, 131. Very high FPS compared to what we were getting before. That's very nice. And you can see in this super flat world, we can walk all around this particular village. And we are getting a little bit of a slowdown. We're getting our FPS down to 80, down to 60. But I mean, down to 60? That is nice. That is exactly what we're looking for. This is very nice indeed. So now it may look a little bit choppy for you. That is mostly because of the instability in the frame rate, I think, is how I understand that. So if we turn VSync on, then you can see it does slow the frame rate down a bit, but it keeps it very smooth. Like, it just feels smooth, which is really interesting. Really interesting indeed. So the FPS feels smooth at the moment, and it's staying around 50, it says, which is okay. I think it's averaging, the FPS meter in the top left, I think is averaging the FPS. So, but it is going nicely, and so far it's staying the same. Now, of course, this is a super flat world, but so far we're not getting any serious issues, which is very nice. Very nice indeed. You can see the debug pie on the right is currently using tick speed. The tick time is about half instead of the 90% that it was before. And display update, which is the VSync waiting for the display, is like taking a whole lot. So it's like taking a whole lot of its time waiting for the display instead of the display waiting for the frame, which is very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Okay, so turn off VSync, and we've got some nice frame rate above 100. Usually above 100, that's very nice indeed. Alright. So, now, what do we do from here? That is the question. We want to do a rigorous test. We're getting 130 FPS right now. Now, I did find some slowdowns in the amplified world. There was a lava flow that was setting the trees on fire, and the chunk updates were slowing it down quite a bit. But it was all reasonable, and it was possible to work around, which was nice. Oh, just saw 140 FPS for a second there. Nice. Okay, so, one moment. Alright, so, let's see now. We've got the need to test. Okay, so let's test first of all. I don't want to lose this village, so let's keep the village here for the sake of testing. But let's go into a different superflat, this test superflat. Let's start small. Let's see if it stays stable with this here. Okay, so whoa, 300 frames per second for a moment. Of course, these meters do slow it down somewhat. Without those meters, 200, 180, 256. Whoa, okay, we're getting some serious frame rate from this. Let's, since we're full screen, let's go ahead and video settings, let's go ahead and GUI scale large so you guys can see the frames per second easier. So above 200, that is very nice. Turn on the meters, and above 100, that is nice as well. Okay, so just one thing to do just before we continue here is just going to take OBS here and going to resize the... Actually, let's just hide... I'm not sure what to do with the Peculiar Pine Tree Plays text down here. That is the question, because the game has to take that size. So let's maybe just shrink it down like this. And that might be good. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Does that look okay with the Peculiar Pine Tree Plays down like that? Oh, maybe actually put it underneath the webcam. Ooh, that might look good. That might look good. Aha! Oh, we should probably... It's a little bit too close to the game on the right. Okay, let's put it between the fireworks. There we go. Nice, okay. So that's an improvement, I guess. Hopefully you guys like that and think it looks okay there. So, let's keep that like that. Then, now, here's a problem with full screen, is that you have to Alt-Tab out of the program. And as you can see, the game is actually still running. You can't see that because it's frozen. I can't see that either. But if you're close enough to a village, you can hear villager sounds and things still going. We're not at the moment. Let's Alt-Tab back in, and there you can see we're back in and good to go. So, let's do this here. So, okay, so we gain about 100 frames per second by getting rid of those graphs. So this is really nice. Let's test this first. So let's go ahead and walk around. Let's try to load some chunks and see what is going to happen with that. So let's just keep walking in the general vicinity, of this direction. Oh, we found a village. We found a village. Okay, so our FPS is staying nicely up where it should be. That's nice. That is nice indeed. We have VSync off, so that's very nice as well. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on... Which meter is it that slows it down? Stand still, 250. Okay, let's turn on this meter, 270, 213. Okay, so this meter slows it down a little bit, but not too much, the pi. But the FPS meter slows it down a whole lot. So, okay then. Nope, actually it seems okay. That's weird. That is weird. But the two of them together? Yeah, the two of them together slows it down about 50 to 100 frames. But without the both of them, it seems okay. So, let's keep the pi and all that open for now, so that we can see what is happening. Go ahead and wander into the distance and see if we can get this thing to slow down. If we can get it to slow down, then we know that it has slowed down. Okay, we got a little bit of a spike for a second there, but so far it's doing okay. This is totally workable so far. This is just a super flat, but as you can see, the super flat is actually working nicely, which it wasn't last stream, the stream before, all that. So, and with these extra debug menus open, we're still getting above 100 frames per second all the time. This is with the solutions of having Minecraft in full screen, having it prioritized on the last two cores, and having OBS running at 30 frames per second instead of 60. That we reduce the CPU usage. CPU is running around 60% right now total, and OBS is running around 30% CPU usage instead of the 40 that it was doing the yesterday, when I was testing yesterday. So, this is doing very nicely. Let's try without that debug pi. Whoop, without the debug pi. There we go. Okay, so we're getting above 200. Okay, so this is looking good. This is looking good indeed. Let's go ahead and try a regular world. Let's try. Create new world. New world. Let's call it test 2. Not sure if it's 2, but anyway, we'll call it test 2. And we want to call it default world generation. Create new world. Okay, so is this going to work? That is the question. We're going to see if we get any serious lag in the regular world. Then we have to try with different mods and things. We have all the mods enabled, including Chisel, including everything like that. It's only Buildcraft and Better FPS. Now, Better FPS, I think it seemed to be causing some slowdowns, which is weird for a mod that's supposed to improve your FPS, but it seemed like what was going on was perhaps some sort of conflict with other mods or something. So I don't know if we set it to use the vanilla algorithm, maybe it won't have those conflicts, and then we can use the benefits of the faster fog and all that stuff. That's possible. So I don't know. After this stream, I'm gonna have to go ahead and release a pack update for you guys with the fixes, and probably, if I can, gonna include the Better FPS mod in there, but disable it so that you guys can use it if you want. if you think it might be helpful for you. Okay, so we got a lag spike while we were getting into the water there. But it's totally reasonable and it's speeding up. So let's just keep walking and talking. That's basically the theme of the game here. So, okay, so this is going nicely. We're getting 90 FPS average. Oh, down to 60, down to 28 for a moment. Let's go ahead and get rid of the debug pie. There we go. Let's keep just this meter here so that we can see better what is happening without the slowdown of having both things up. So let's go ahead and jump on a cactus. There we go. Oh, we got a little bit of a lag spike for a moment there. Well, it was loading something. That seems to be a loading thing. Anything that we can see in the area? No. You know, I wonder, actually, this is running well enough. I wonder if we can raise our render distance a little bit. That is a question. Last season, the entire season, I think, I was playing most of the season on 6 chunks of render distance, but I think this time we may be able to raise it a bit, possibly. We'll have to see exactly why we're getting these slowdowns a little bit. Okay, we're waiting for display update a little bit. Oh, there's a village. Hello, village. Let's go ahead and, whoops, we got a lag spike for a moment there, but now it's back up to 70, 80, 70. Nice, okay. So this is weird, so it is a little bit slower than it should be. But it's okay, it's acceptable. Let's grab some wheat and things. Oh, and why are they not giving me anything? Is that because I'm not in survival? But as you can see, this is totally playable. Let's just go ahead and break a whole bunch of things here. There we go. Okay, we got a little bit of lag spike for a moment there, but it is okay. Let's, I'm just gonna switch, gonna alt-tab out of Minecraft just to find the log to be able to see what the log says. What does the log say? That's the question. And the log says... Okay, let's put it here. Let's shrink this other window. Just trying to figure out how to fit everything on the screen. Okay. Because full screen mode takes up a lot of the screen. It takes up the entirety of the screen. Okay, so root.display update. Okay. Now we can see the log. If we get some lag spikes, we can see what's going on. So, this looks nice. We're getting above 60 all the time. This is nice. We don't have VSync on. VSync seems to stabilize it somewhat. And we have a carrot. Okay, that is nice. Oh, we got a lag spike while we were opening the inventory. Could that be because of the not enough items thing? Disabled what? Hang on. Hang on. Is it because we have the GUI scale too large? Whoa, that would be auto. That's even bigger. Okay then. Let's keep it on normal for now. And let's see. Control O. How do you enable NEI? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can disable it like that. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know indeed. Okay, let's increase the GUI scale. This is nice. Okay, so it looks like we're doing well. It looks like we're doing very well. We're so far staying above 60. Hello, villager. You're looking at your crops there? You got some interesting crops? I got a carrot. Hello? You want your carrot? No? Okay, we got a lag spike there for a moment, but it is gone. That's nice. Okay. I wonder if VSync can smooth out any of those lag spikes. That might be possible. Because theoretically, VSync, depending on what the process is that's causing some slowdowns... Oh, we got a little bit of a spike while opening that guy, but not too much. Oh, we got an error in the log. What's that up? What's that all about? Hang on. Gotta alt-tab out of here. The error in the log says... Oh, error thrown while accessing JEI internals. Interesting. Java.lang. No such method error. Okay. Interesting. But it doesn't appear to have affected anything, so that's okay. Root.display update took too long. Root.tick took too long, but so far it's playable. I mean, it's not perfect, but so far it's playable. You think so, sir? No? Yes? Okay. Well, he does not want to answer the question. So, let's just click through there. Okay. This is looking good. Let's try enabling VSync and see if it will stay stable enough. Theoretically, VSync, because without VSync it does like 300 frames in 1 second and then like 20 in the next and whatever, and theoretically there could be certain things that it has to do that it could actually spend more time on if it's not like trying to do so many frames in the previous second. I don't know if that's possible. If it has to do everything in sequence, or if there's some things that are like multi-threaded that it might have more time for. I don't know how all that works, but it's possible VSync might help something. So, let's see. What would be nice as well is a mod that will throw the FPS counter in the corner without throwing all the rest of this. Oh, wasn't there a mod reduced debug info or something? Is there... Wait, no, that wasn't a mod. That was a command. Okay, let's see if we can find any commands. I think it was the game rule? Game rule. Okay, what do we have here? We have... Disable Elytra movement check. Do daylight cycle, do entity drops. We're looking for reduced debug info. Oh, yes, game rule reduced debug info. Game rule reduced... Whoops, missed it. Reduced debug info, there we go. And that would be false. Let's go true. There we go. Okay, so we got rid of some of the debug info on the screen. So now it's slightly more out of the way. Nice. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and head around. We have VSync on at the moment, and so far it's running very nicely. Let's go into the house here. Hello, house. What is going on with you, house? That would be the house. Explored. Done. Okay, let's keep exploring around the place. And so far this is staying stable. What else can we do to tax the system without going full on amplified world? That's the question. We should really test some of the mods that we were suspecting might be a problem. So, okay, let's go ahead and build something with chisel. Let's try that. Let's first lower the GUI scale. There we go. Okay. Let's try building something with chisel, because chisel has the potential to really slow things down. So, let's see. And I believe that the connected textures thing is actually a thing that it does right now. Glass. Let's see. Let's try, see if it'll connected textures the glass. Not that glass. Does it, do we have, hang on. Just gonna check the config. One moment, please. Gonna check the config just to double check if we did in fact turn off connected textures, but did we turn it back on? That's the question. Okay, a thinking pack config connected textures, because I don't know if I'm using the right block. If I'm using the wrong block, then it wouldn't work. Okay, disable connected textures entirely is true. Well, we want that on to see if it will work, because that makes things look really nice. So, what we're going to do is we are going to quit Minecraft and hope that it loads up again properly. This is a good thing to test, because just because it works one time does not mean it will work the next time. So let's go ahead and reload this thing. There we go, that has been quit. We also want, did I close the, I think I closed, yeah. Where did the Modpack folder go? Okay, open folder. Okay. Okay, config, there we go. We want to connected textures. You know what, let's just reset the, I don't know, I was gonna just delete the whole config file and then, like, config folder and then let it repopulate the whole thing, but maybe not. Let's just go like this. Okay. Disable connected textures mod equals false. Oh, actually, you know what we should do? We should reset this. Okay, hang on. just in case, because we did so many changes, because I'm going to put out a Modpack update for you guys. That's the plan, at least. We did so many changes, though, and then undid the changes, and then redid the changes, and changed the changes, and rechanged the changes, and all that. So many things that, just in case there's anything else that we changed that needs to be changed back, let's go ahead and delete the Modpack, and then reinstall the Modpack. And then disable Better FPS and Buildcraft and see if it then works. Okay, delete profile. Delete profile backups. Yes, delete. Okay, we have deleted a Thinking Pack 2 off of this computer. Okay then. That is that. Now, we want... Oh, it looks like... Yep, looks like it's deleted the whole folder. That's good. Okay. So now we can start fresh. So Thinking Pack 2 is still on the Twitch launch. If you guys want to try it, then go ahead and download it from there. Thinking, just search Thinking in the Twitch launcher and press enter, and there we go, a Thinking Pack 2. Install. And now we have to wait for it to... Now we have to wait for it to download. So, unzipping, validating manifest files, there's a lot of steps that go into this thing. You don't realize, as someone who's a programmer probably realizes a whole lot more about this, but it's like, there's so much that goes into just simply downloading something. Okay, now it's installing all the mods, installing mod 9 out of 16. Okay, so it'll install all of them, then we want to disable Buildcraft and Better FPS. Let's actually, I don't know, should we disable Better FPS? Or should we keep it? It does slow it down, but it probably is just simply the algorithm change that slows it down. No, you know what? Let's disable it, and then if we need it in the future, then we'll go ahead and allow it. Okay, so I think we had about 3 gigabytes of memory for Modpack. There we go. Disable Buildcraft and Better FPS. So now, the whole Modpack has been reset on this computer. So now that it has been reset, we shall hit play and hope that it works. And load this up. Play. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Now, one thing with the full screen mode that's a little bit weird is that I don't know if it'll do this on your guys' computers if you guys try this, but I find to actually get the speed benefit of the full screen mode, you have to actually exit full screen mode and then go back into full screen mode, because it seems like basically going into full screen mode straight off the bat doesn't actually give a speed benefit, it seems. I don't know if that's just my computer or if that's just a fluke or something, but it seems like you have to go into the settings, exit full screen mode, enter it again, and then it's good to go. Oh, just noticing that text is too big. That current song text. It's going to be in the way of the game. Okay, so while we are loading this game, let's go ahead and try changing that. Current song. What do we change it to, though? Because some of the songs are really long. The names of them are sometimes really long. Here's the question. Is it still readable? It doesn't really have to be readable on mobile, I guess, but is it still readable if we go ahead and... Rank, whoops, that would be the wrong one. Aha, there we go. If we take this text and shrink it a whole lot, is that totally not readable? That looks like it's totally not readable. Yeah. No, I think that is not readable. Is there a way to undo? Nope, there's no way to undo. Okay, gonna have to resize this manually. So, while we are waiting for the game to load up, we're going to try to reset all these locations of things. You know what might be necessary is to turn this on an angle. Or to move it lower down, because then it'll be overlapping over nothing much, theoretically. Actually, it will be overlapping over... Oh! We're getting some Minecraft music over top of our other music. Hang on! Hang on! Music down! Music down. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's put the text down here. Trying to figure out... I'm not very good at design. I don't know if any of you guys find that. I'm not very good at design for things. And so this is probably not the best design in the world. But it should work. Yeah, you can see that one is exceptionally long. So if we go ahead and enter full screen mode on this thing, let's change the GUI scale to large, brighten this up, and full screen on. Now you'll see that it overlaps. Oh, actually the game overlaps it because the game is in front, which it cannot be. It should not be in front, it should be behind. There we go. A little bit farther, there we go. Okay. Will it look okay to shrink the game a little bit, or is that going to look really weird? Let's hold control and drag it around. It looks really weird with something on the right. I think we need to shrink the right side. There we go. Oh, and you can see the fireworks better now that way. Okay, I don't like the sliver next to the text. I don't like that sliver of background with the cobblestone and stuff. It looks a little bit weird at the bottom of the... Let's switch into the OBS scene so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oop, okay, OBS display capture, come on. There we go, okay. Studio mode, and you guys can see what I'm talking about better with being able to point to it. So behind the scenes, here we go. Excellent, and increase this. Okay. Where did Minecraft go? Alt-tab, Minecraft, nice, okay. There we go. Okay, now you should be able to see it. Now it's Alt-tab into OBS. Okay. So yeah, so this sliver down here, I think it looks really weird. I don't know if you guys think it does or not. I'm not good at design, but it's the only way to be sure that the text is, like, having a sliver of something there, making sure the text never gets overlapping the game. Because if it were to overlap the bottom of the game, that's right where we type in our commands and things, and so then you guys wouldn't be able to see any of the commands I'm typing in. So I like them not overlapping like this, but having that sliver there is really weird. So maybe just changing that to a simple black background or something. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's try that color source. Let's call this black. And that is what it's going to be. Select color. And there we go. Done. Okay, now you cannot see the face cam anymore. That is kind of a problem. But let's go ahead and, whoops, actually. Nope, that would be the wrong thing that we're selecting. There we go. Okay, let's change the height. Let's just change it down from 400 down to 50, so it's got fewer pixels to calculate for, because we don't need all of those. We're just going to take this, put it down here, increase the size. How big do we increase it though? Because it looked fine until now it looks weird with the text being shrunk. So I was thinking of just putting this behind. I don't know. If you guys have any design ideas, then let me know. I think, oh, maybe actually putting this as wide as the game, that is too wide. That looks weird. As wide as the game, that is not wide enough. Come on, come on, come on, a little bit bigger. There we go, that looks like pixel perfect. It looks like it's exactly the right... Yep, looks like exactly the right size. Now all we need to do is bring it to the back. So take that and go down, not to the complete back because that will be behind everything else. Okay, there we go. There we go, that is nice. So now the text should overlap. I don't know if that'll look good or bad or what, but the text should overlap. When it gets bigger, it should overlap onto that black area. instead of onto the game. So that should look good. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that looks okay, and we shall get back into the game here. So, nice. Okay, now we need to set all of our video settings. Let's go set everything down. Everything down. Particles minimal. VSync, let's keep that on, I guess. Let's turn it off to start with. Entity shadows off. Clouds off. And max frame rate unlimited. Render distance 6. And there we go. That would be that. Oh, yes, controls. Forgot about controls. Have to change all the controls. All the controls, that's always the thing. One of you guys suggested doing, like, having a control file that you can copy and paste into different Minecraft profiles. Because being left-handed, it makes it a little bit difficult. And so, that's actually possibly a good idea. I don't know if compatibility with different mod versions and different mod sets and things, I don't know if that'll all work very well or not. These hotkeys are good, but they need to change a little bit because can't actually press, what was it? I and O, I think it was, for selecting a bow in combat. Can't actually press them while pressing a couple of other buttons at the same time, like movement buttons. It just doesn't work, which is not too good. Inventory would be equals. Oh, swap item. Yes. That's a new thing. Okay. Gonna have to decide on a button for that. Okay. What buttons? There are some conflicts that are supposed to be there. Red means that there's a key conflict. L is not supposed to be conflicting. Let's set that to a different one. Is it possible to remove, like that one says none. Is it possible to remove a key completely? Let's try it. Nope. Typing in none doesn't work. Is there a way to... I don't know. Anyway, let's send that to S. Now, we want to finish this quickly. Toggle perspective, that would be N, and that conflicts with something else. We want to deal with all these conflictions somehow. Toggle sensor goggles mode. Okay, let's set that to, I guess, nope, G is already something. I don't know, let's set it to 9, I guess. 9 is there. Might as well. Oh, actually, that might be a good hotbar button for the bow for the future. I don't know, let's just set the goggles to E. Because why not? Okay, now, potions, we don't need all these things. We just need to find where the key conflicts are. That's what we're looking for. Key conflicts. Now, what are we looking for? Oh, zoom, we want that to be space. And we want... Okay, now here's an interesting thing. Oh, auto jump is on, don't want that. Here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions, comments on this, but down is conflicting, comma is conflicting, period's conflicting. Where are they? Down, comma, and period. And let's head down here. Oh, down, okay, found down, but comma and period. Bed cart, what is that? Bed carts. You can sleep in Railcraft? Oh, that is nice. Okay. Let's do B, I guess. Okay, might as well. So down, comma and period, I think it was. But where are they? Because they are not on the list. Nowhere else does it show comma and period conflicting with anything. So I don't know where else. I don't know if you guys have any comments on this. And why is our menu orange? Like, what's that supposed to mean? That's weird. Oh, and I just noticed. Sorry about that. Just noticed that OBS is using the other scene still. Okay, let's exit studio mode and let's go back into this here. There we go. That looks very weird. The black bar at the bottom without the game. Okay, so hopefully you guys could see that properly. All that stuff that we were doing there. It was a little bit small, but it was there. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice, and I think we're big enough. Just not sure if the text is overlapping the game at all. Might have to reduce the game by a pixel. Okay. So, yeah, so not sure why those keys say they're conflicting. Okay, anyways, it is time to get into this here. So, let's see if it will work. test world. Everything has been reset now, and we should be able to get the textures, connected textures now as well. That everything has been reset. Very nice indeed. And loading world. Okay, so is this gonna work? We restarted the game, which means there's a possibility everything's gonna break. We also uninstalled the whole game, and hopefully we didn't change anything else that we forgot that we changed, that now all of a sudden things won't work. We shall find out. Hopefully it works, though. Hopefully it does. And building terrain is taking quite a long time. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice. And the meter shows 2 FPS, but that is because we're loading. So this should speed up momentarily. So that is nice. That is nice indeed. Nice indeed. Oh, yes. 2 up to 6. That's a 300% improvement. Well, 200% improvement. 300% total. Okay, 3 FPS, 6. Oh, now suddenly 25. Nice, nice, nice. It has, when it's trying to do the world generation, it seems to slow it down quite a bit. Okay. And then, oh yes, we have to also do the switching out of full screen. We have to also do the prioritizing on the CPU. We have to also do all kinds of things like that. Because I think what was happening last time was the other programs, when it's not in full screen mode, the other programs seem to slow it down somewhat. Okay. Oh, nice. We're getting a few lag spikes, but it is stabilizing. Okay, so let's switch out of full screen, because that must be done. There we go, full screen off. And let's set priority. Where is Minecraft? Minecraft is up here. Nice. Okay, go to details in the task manager. Set affinity to the last 2 cores. And set priority to high. Change priority. Very nice indeed. Changing priority can lock up the computer, but because it's not allowed to use the first 2 cores, it shouldn't lock up the computer. OBS, though, is on high priority as well, so that's good to know. But, okay. Oh, and also need to scroll the log down, because the log is not at the top. Oh, it is at the top, it's not at the bottom. That's where it's supposed to be, is at the bottom. There we go. Okay, now we're good to go. Oh, and the GPU, by the way, at the moment is being used about 25% of it. So, anyways. Random facts with Robert. Random facts with Robert. There we go. The GPU is at 25%. The CPU is at 71%. The log is over top of the CPU meter, so I can't even see it properly. The, okay. Random facts. Random facts. There we go. Okay, then. Okay, let's get back into Minecraft here. We want to enter full screen mode once again. Full screen on! Oh, did we turn off entity shadows? They should be off. Yeah, I think that's off. It's hard to tell underneath the debug pie. Oh, nice! Okay! Yes, we're up to the 100 range. 43, 90, 115, 113, 103. Nice! Okay, so we're actually getting some seriously high frame rate. That is good. That is very nice, very nice, very nice indeed. CPU is running around 60-70%. That's nice. 75 for a second, but usually 60-70. Okay. Okay, a little bit of frame rate lag while we are turning around, loading some new chunks and things. Okay, this is... we do have VSync off, correct? Yes? Yes, we do. Okay. This looks okay. Root.tick is taking too long, but as you can see by the debug pie, it is doing reasonable. Very reasonable. Let's jump up here so we can see something better. Yeah, perhaps with better FPS, we could perhaps improve the fog and make it run slightly faster. Let's just set it to the vanilla algorithm, though. Okay, here we go. Nice, 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 nice. Nice, 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 nice. Oh, not so nice. 22 FPS, 36, but speeding up. Let's just stand here for a moment and let it speed itself up a bit. So far, though, this is all playable, which is very nice. Not sure why it's running around 40, because it was running better before. So, not sure what's up with that. It was running better before restarting it and reinstalling it. But it seems okay. It's struggling to reach 60, though. Not sure if we changed something else that got reset when we reinstalled the Modpack. Let's see. Whoop, whoop. Okay, a little bit of lag there. Oh, also we're in a forest. That might have something to do with it. Forests do tend to slow things down a little bit because there's so many trees and things. So many trees! So many trees. Okay, so 14, 24, 31. Yeah, this is obviously not ideal. Okay, 55, 40. Okay. Well, what exactly should we do about this? Because this is getting a whole lot of lag spikes. Is there anything else we can do to speed it up? Nothing really. Nothing really. Maybe it's just waiting longer. Maybe if we just wait a little bit longer, then it'll speed up some more. Maybe if we get rid of those bug pies, it'll speed up some more. 136, 138, 137, nice, 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 nice. Oh, 60, 70, 100, 76, 79, 83, 74. Okay, so this is, I guess, reasonable. 40, okay. Maybe this is from the trees. Maybe this is from the trees. Is that possible? Wasn't there, a config in one of the mods that said something about FPS? Whoa, okay. We got some lag there while we were loading some chunks, but now, we got up to 80, 130, 150, 80, 145. Okay, so it's possible that we just had a chunk that we were in that was slowing things down, a particular chunk. Is that possible? Okay, that's possibly possible. I don't know if you guys remember if we changed a setting that said something about FPS. That's possible, but it's been reset now. It does seem to have a lot of world loading lag, but that is okay. It doesn't matter that the world loads as fast as it possibly can, as long as we can move around with fast frame rate. That is what we are really looking for. 13... Okay, so it seems to lag every time we get some world generation. 80. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Will it improve in that case with an increased render distance because it doesn't have as many times of waiting for the world to generate once we get it to generate in the first place? That's, of course, the first step. Let's get onto this mountain over here so that then we can see something. And let's wait for it to load. Let's wait for it to load and see. Okay, CPU is being used at 90%, 80%, because of loading some chunks. And the log said a couple times tried to overfill a container. Okay. Oh, now CPU is back down to the 60s and the 70s. Nice, okay. Getting 30 FPS in-game, 45, 26. As long as we got 30 or higher, we should be good to go. It's really weird, though, how we seem to get more stable of an FPS sometimes when we don't have to wait for the chunks to load. So, okay then. Well... Oh, 111. Nice! Let's load up the meters. Nice, okay, we can see some things happening here. Very nice indeed. We're on 12 chunks at the moment. Oh, root.tick took too long. A whole lot of times. Whoa, okay. CPU, 80%, 70%, 73, 80. Okay, so when it hits the 80s is when it starts taking too long and spitting out log messages, which is interesting. Okay, so good thing we didn't actually start a thinking pack this week, the actual playthrough, because it looks as if we may have a few things to sort out still. Although, I don't know about you guys, but I have no clue where to go from here. So, yeah, because we're still getting some lag spikes. There must be something that we reset in the config. There must be something in the config that we reset. Maybe something related to chunk loading or something. I don't know. I do not know. But this is 12 chunks right now, and we're getting reasonable. Let's try with VSync on. Let's see what that does. 42, 44. Nice. 27. Not so nice. 12. Not so nice. 25. 21. Okay. But this is with 12 chunks. Let's go ahead and reduce it down to 6, like usual. Oh, nice. We seem to be speeding up a little bit. We seem to be speeding up. Okay. Well, the big question of the stream, is it fixed? And the big answer is, no idea. Forests really seem to slow it down, but we don't seem to be speeding up too much either. Is it still textures? Let's see, the debug pi and tick textures unspecified. It's still unspecified textures that are taking a long time. Game renderer though, level takes a while as well. Terrain. Display update also is taking a while. Unspecified. That's weird. Because display update, actually that could just mean that the tick is running faster. But we have VSync. Oh, we have VSync on. Never mind, thought it was off. Okay, that explains it. Okay, so, yeah, so heading along here, it's reasonable. Staying around 50, staying around 40, 50, that kind of thing. Let's see what we can build by way of chisel stuff. And see, whoop, there's some lag loading the menu, but that's to be expected, because NEI does tend to do that. And back up to 60. Nice. Okay. Let's go for some glass. Okay, like this. Slot 1, and we should have connected textures on, so what's going on with that? Oh, does it have to be specifically chisel glass? Chisel. Okay, how do we find the chisel tool? Oh, right down here. Okay, chisel. Diamond chisel, and eye chisel. What's that? There's so much to learn about chisel. Let's try the diamond one because it looks best. Let's grab some glass. There we go. Our frame rate is doing okay. We want slot 2. That would be not slot 2. That would be the slash. There we go. Slot 2 diamond chisel. Okay. We want to place this in here and grab some. Oh, we can grab regular glass. Okay. Slot 9. Is that not connected textures? Okay, let's try slot 2 again. Let's try putting that in. What's this? Chisel a single block. Chisel a 3 by... Oh, you can actually place blocks with the chisel? Okay, that's interesting. Column, row, okay, interesting. Glass bubble. Okay, there's so many things that we don't know about this mod. Glass. Oh yes, we have connected textures. Nice. That always looks nice. Connected textures do. Oh, we're getting to nighttime. Is our frame rate going to stay stable? That is the question. Let's make a glass shelter. 'Cause why not? There we go, and head around here like that. And place some glass around here like this. Very nice. Okay, we now have a glass structure. Placing random glass outside. Okay, so interesting. So we're getting some pretty okay frame rate. Lupus590, hello, welcome to you, welcome to the day, welcome to the stream, welcome to... Lupus590 says, you can click blocks in the world with the chisel to change them to the set block. Oh, okay, that explains it. That's what the 3x3 mode does. Okay, that's nice. So if you're just tuning into the stream, today we are checking if it is fixed, the Modpack. And it possibly is. I don't know. That's what we're trying to do, is trying to do a rigorous test to see if it's going to work or not. Let's turn off VSync. So at the moment, we're running around 117 FPS, which is nice. Over 100, that is what we're looking for. It was running more stable before, and then I reinstalled the entire mod pack. What do we want to do? We want to do time set 0. Reinstalled the entire mod pack, and then tried to run it, and it was slower than before by about like 50 to 100 frames per second. So I'm not sure if there was something in the config that I reset that was supposed to fix it or something, but it seems okay. So we're trying to do a test, seeing if it will be playable enough to do the series, because the last thing that we want is to start and then have to change all the mods and like basically restart the world because it corrupts or something. So we want to get this sorted first, and we're getting some okay frame rate. We were getting earlier over 100 and over 200 sometimes, and now we are getting some, we do get some lag spikes while the chunks are loading, but aside from that, it seems to be okay. Forests do really seem to do a lot to the frame rate. Really seem to slow it down a whole lot, but it still seems playable. Still seems playable. I did change, you may notice the Twitch stream is switched from, it used to be always 60 FPS, now it's 30, because with the game struggling enough, it's not really worth streaming in 60, and it saves a whole lot of CPU, because that is one of the big problems. I was experimenting with it this week, and one of the big problems was the CPU being used too intensely. So whenever the CPU meter hits around 80%, 90%, that kind of range, maybe 95 or something, then it always seems to cause huge lag spikes. So it's actually running 80% right now, which is not great. But so trying to save some CPU power and switching OBS down to 30 FPS really seemed to help a lot. Now why? What is going on? Why is this struggling? You know what? Let's try. Livestream says, don't stream an FPS higher than what you are capturing, as it's a bit pointless. Yes, exactly. That's the thing. So for Hypixel, I stream in 60 because it runs in 60 just fine. But for this, you're right, it's kind of pointless to be streaming in 60 while the game is not really reaching it. Okay, it is, however, at the moment, reaching pretty high. Now, the weird thing is, earlier, we were hitting like 250 range, and now we're hitting a lot lower. Is that just because we were in super flat? Let's go ahead and check, switch to super flat and see what we hit in super flat. Create new world. Oh, back here, test super flat. If we can type properly. Ah, flat. There we go. Test super flat. Nice. Oh wow, and we spawn right in the middle of a village. Okay then. So, is this going to work? Or is it not going to work? It does have to load the chunks. It does slow it down significantly while it's loading the chunks. So not sure why, or if there's a way to speed that up, but it does do a significant amount of damage to the frame rate. But once it has loaded the chunks, it seems to be okay. But let's see if we can get it back. Oh, Loopsanity says test other dimensions too. That is a good point. That is a good point. Need to do that. Okay. So here we are. Let's head around. I don't know what we changed when after reinstalling the mod pack, if it's just simply the connected textures thing or what, but something slowed it down about 100 frames per second. 100 frames per second were slowed down. because we were getting pretty solidly in the 150. Oh! Actually, here we are. We're getting better. Getting better, getting better, getting better. This is nice. This is nice indeed. Okay. This is okay. Maybe it's because of being in super flat. Maybe that makes a big enough difference. Let's get rid of the other meters here, though, because we do gain about 100 frames per second just from having the meters gone. So that's okay. Yep, 180. We were getting 250 before, so I don't know what we did. I don't know if you happen to remember what we changed. Otherwise, I just have to go through all the config files again. But, okay. Yes, you say test other dimensions. So let's see. Is there a quick way to get to a Galactic Craft dimension? It does not look like we can get to a Galactic Craft dimension very easily. So let's go ahead and set up a rocket and get ourselves there. Where would be the rocket? That would be... Oh, an interesting thing is, so, here's a couple things that I changed. One is switching OBS down so that it saves CPU. Another thing is switching the game into full screen. Wait, did I prioritize this after restarting it? Hang on, because that is a big deal, is prioritizing it. That is a really big deal. Where's the mouse? There's the mouse. Okay, hang on. Also, switching alt-tabbing out of the game, it freezes on the stream. So you can see the game is just there, it's completely frozen. Okay, so I did affinity and did priority. Okay then. Well, that was worth checking. So, now let's head back into the game here. And test some other dimensions. So, rocket, we want launch pads, and we want some creative rockets. What's this? Cargo rocket. Okay, and rocket, we want the tier 3. That looks good. Tier 3, and we got cargo rocket in tier 1. So let's go for tier 3. Creative. There we go. Pre-fueled. Very nice. Okay. Place down some of this stuff. And place down some of this stuff. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Let's... Okay, 5 FPS. Okay. Okay. Yep, getting some lag here. Getting back up to 95, though. That's nice. Here's a question. Should we do a thinking pack in super flat? That might be interesting to try. But it also might be pretty boring as well, so it depends. Okay, so it's... Yeah, we're getting some weird lag here, but it's stabilizing, and it's being okay, so... Okay, what? The tick is taking too long. Tick, textures, unspecified, again. Whoa, okay, that's some serious lag. That is not good. Let's try going to the pause menu for a moment. Sometimes it seems to speed things up just by being on the pause menu and then leaving it. But at the moment it seems to be doing the exact opposite. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this. We thought we had the solution. But now, it does not seem to be solutionized. If that's a word, solutionized. But we've got the... Okay, outside of full screen it seems to be doing okay. Okay, this is weird. Because it wasn't doing okay before. Let's go back into full screen and see this again. Okay, and now it's doing fine. That's weird. Something to do with exiting and entering full screen. It's like toggling that makes a big difference. Okay, let's launch. There we go. Whoa, okay, 4 FPS. 45 FPS. Let's pause. Let's exit full screen and see what that does. Okay. The average frame rate slows down. That's the thing. When we exit full screen, the average frame rate slows down, which is not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. So, here we go. Okay, whoops! I just broke the rocket. Okay, let us try that again. Slot 2, rocket, there we go. Done, in, and 90 FPS, 100. Launch. Oh, there was a Galacticraft config option to speed up the frame rate when you're looking at a rocket and things. So we could perhaps try that. But we're doing reasonable. We got 40 FPS here. 30, 40. That is very reasonable for launching the rocket. Not sure why we got those lag spikes before, but it's working, which is very nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Still 70, still above 60. That is nice. Above 60 is what we really want, and above 30 is acceptable. And, okay. Where should we go first? Oh, we can go to Venus, too. I don't know. Let me know if you think we should go to any particular place first. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a quick detour into the save folder, simply to try to look for any FPS improvement things. So open folder, okay. Open folder, we've got here, whoops, what happened here? It's like it hid everything on the screen. Eh? What happened? I dragged a window over from one screen to the other and it hid every single window on the screen. That's weird, never had that happen before. Okay then. What else did we have open? Twitch, Discord I think was closed, but we had the... Oh, and the GPU meter has quit itself, which is weird. Okay. Okay then. Okay, so that's back up and running, it looks like. Not entirely sure what has happened. Have to grab every single window back again. What else did we have? We had the Minecraft log, and we had Minecraft itself. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now let's switch out. Let's go back into save folder. Okay, let's look for config. Let's look for something that could speed it up. So Galacticraft. Let's change... Can we change things while it's up and running? Livestream says, Windows shake. Shaking a window minimizes every other window. Doing it again should restore them. Oh, okay. That is good to know. Okay. Chunk loading. It will load each player's chunks when they log in. That's okay. It's not the initial load that's the problem. It's when it has to load new ones as it goes that's the problem. Galacticraft Core, anything that says FPS. Gonna do a quick find, not gonna read the whole thing, let's just do a quick find for FPS. If you have FPS problems, setting this to true will help if rocket particles are in your sights. Disable spaceship particles. I don't know if we want to disable them, but it's good to know that option's there. Okay. mccore.config.conf technically. No FPS stuff in there. Planets, anything FPS, FPS, search, cannot find FPS, okay. Power, GC3, and cannot find FPS, okay. So nothing in the Galacticraft configs. Anything in the chisel? No, that shouldn't do it. Forge chunk loading, that might have something to do with it. Because there is a thing when we're loading chunks. When we're loading chunks, it really slows things down. The thing to say is changing the config files will not usually automatically update the game as it is running. In fact, you could lose changes this way if the mod writes to the config on game close. Yes, that is a good point. That is a good point indeed. What should I search? I'm just doing a search to see for FPS. Command F, or Control F rather, search. But what else should I search? Maybe frame rate, maybe other things, other words and things. Forge.cfg, let's try that. FPS, oh, there we go. Enable Forge to queue all chunk updates to the chunk update thread. May increase FPS significantly, but may also cause weird rendering lag. Not recommended for computers without a significant number of cores available. Ooh. We are getting some serious FPS lag. Well, what does it mean by a significant number of cores? Because we have 2 cores and 2 hyperthreads for the game. So the question is it worth it? Because we are getting significant rendering lag when we load chunks. So perhaps this is worth fixing. Yeah, I think it's worth trying. Let's just get down onto a planet here. We've never been to Venus before, so I think maybe we won't go there yet because we want to experience it in the game. But let's go to somewhere else. It says more than 2 cores is significant usually. So would it count hyperthreads as cores? Like, do those function enough like a core to make it doable? Let's go to the asteroids. Let's try that. Prepare for entry! Scheduled executables are taking a lot. Okay. Whoa, 2 FPS, 30 FPS, 50 FPS. Okay, we're slowly speeding up. We are heading down and speeding up. Okay, here we go. We landed inside an asteroid. That's interesting. And we're getting below 60. Well, this is not ideal, but it's workable so far. And here we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, around 60. This is without VSync. Yes, it is. Okay, without VSync. So we should be okay. Can we jump over to that? What happens if you're in the asteroid belt and you fall? That's the question. What happens if you fall? Oh, you have to kind of find a thing to land on, I guess. There's not many options! I think if you fall in the asteroid belt, you die if you don't catch... Oh, now we're getting 130 FPS. Nice. Nice. We have nothing around us. And we are about to die. Oh, negative Y dimension. Okay, let's go back up to where we should be. Where would be that island? There would be an island. There would be an island. You can see it as a blob of no stars against a starry background. Okay then. Let's get up to this island, please. And then let's try doing the chunk queuing thing. Because I don't mind if chunk updates take longer as long as we don't get huge FPS drops while we're waiting for them. That's the thing. So perhaps it might be worth doing that. So let us quickly... 92 FPS. Nice. Nice. What about without the extra meters? 91, 141, 131, 140, 150, 72. Okay. So it's still not exactly stable. Let's go ahead and quit this. Let's go ahead and change the FPS, the chunk loading thing. Hopefully that'll speed things up a bit. Okay, Minecraft has been quit. And okay, so change FPS loading to true. There we go. So that would be the chunk loading change. And anything else that says FPS. Not in there. Let's do a quick check through of a bunch of other configs because it takes a long time to load the game. So, splash.properties, no FPS in here. Plethora core, that should do nothing related to FPS, but okay, nothing. Plethora.cfg, no FPS stuff in there. We already checked the Forge chunk loading and the Forge configs. Xcompressum, nothing to do with FPS. Ender storage. Searching for the phrase FPS, doing a control F on all of these. No FPS in there. In CTM. Now here's the other thing though, is that only tells us if something in the config says that it improves the FPS. So the CTM, connected textures, it does improve potentially it improves the FPS a little bit, having connected textures mod disabled. But we do want connected textures if we can. Nothing that says FPS in CodeChickenLib. What about Chisel? Nothing that says FPS there. Better FPS, that should say something about FPS. Cannot find FPS in better FPS settings. Okay. Okay then, let's just check, let's go up here. Oh, whoa, okay, once we get into the folders, there's so many possible config things going on here. This is crazy. That's crazy, simply crazy. Okay, well, applied energistics, buildcraft, which we don't have buildcraft installed. CodeChicken, Xcompressor, loads of things. Okay, let's just go ahead and load this up. We changed, the only thing we changed is the chunk loading. Let's see if it'll speed up at all. Theoretically, it should help a lot. Theoretically. Okay then. Okay, so the another thing I want to test later sometime is with the, if we can enable better FPS to get a couple of those boosts that it gives, but without changing the algorithm, if that will then work to give us a boost without any kind of hindrance or anything. Hopefully we can get this up and running for next week. I thought it was ready for this week, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's not quite ready. So, yeah. That is the thing. That is why this was a stream of Is It Fixed? That was the question of this stream. And the answer is it was not. It looked like it was, but it was not. This music's nice, though. Music is nice. Okay. Let's see. So, having changed the way that it will render its chunks, is it going to no longer give us those slowdowns? The best way to test that most rigorously would be in one of those, what's it called? The amplified worlds, because those certainly take a long time to load the chunks. Now here's the weird thing, is that the amplified world, I tested one of those yesterday, and it worked really nicely there, and now we're struggling to get the regular thing to work. So that is obviously not ideal. There we go, we are in full screen here, and we want just to go to the task manager, and then go into Task Manager and change the priority and all that. There's Java. Go to Details, javaw.exe, Affinity, set it to priority. For some reason, you have to do this every single time. High priority, there we go, done, nice. Performance tab, nice, we're good to go, and let's head back into the game here. Nice, okay. So now, we should see if we go into the test superflat. We should see it is actually probably won't affect this much because we're in the asteroids dimension and there's not a lot to load in the asteroids dimension. It's just kind of very sparse, very empty, very not a lot there. Loading terrain. So we shouldn't see much of a difference from that particular config change. But we should see that we can get some good FPS, and then we'll go try an amplified world. Because those slow the computer down quite a bit. Theoretically, that's what they'd say. They even say that next to the amplified setup screen there. So, if we can get an amplified world to run fine, then we should be able to get other things to run fine too. Okay, so it looks like it's improving the speed. Nice, okay. Quit to title now. Okay. Is an amplified world gonna work? That is the question. Single player, create new world, amplified, test amplified. Whoops! Hit enter before changing the world type. Well then, we're gonna have to try that again. We're gonna have to try that again, sir! Yes, sir, we shall try these things again. These things are things that must be tried. And they must be tried again. That is the definition of again, is more than the previous time. So that is the thing, and that is what we're going to be doing, is quitting. There we go. Let's try a proper test amplified. Delete that. Create new world. There we go. World type amplified. It even says, notice, just for fun, requires beefy computer. It even says that. So, let us try this. Test amplified. Creative, and enter. There we go. Now we can create the world. Now we can head in here, and now we can find whether it works or not. Okay. You know what? If this wasn't full screen mode, I'd be going through some of the config files at the moment. But it is full screen mode, so it won't actually load graphically while we're alt-tabbed out into the config files. So, 49 FPS, 71. Okay, it seems to be okay. Seems to be getting a massive lag spike, but now it is back up to 70. Okay, so we're getting some lag spikes. We have changed the chunk rendering method, so hopefully this will work okay. And no idea why we're not getting the better frame rate like we should be. Okay, here we go. Oh, CPU at 88%. That will always slow it down. Every single time the CPU gets that high, it starts causing more lag spikes. Okay, that's not too good. But this is amplified. So, what we are trying to see is if we will get any significant issues, or whether the chunk loading thing improved. Okay, CPU is back down into the 60 range, which is nice. But our frame rate is not getting as high as it should be. Down here, okay. Let's start going, let's just start walking and see. Okay, so far the chunk updates root.tick is taking way too long. Could that be because of changing that particular setting? I have no idea what's going on with this. No clue. This is apparently going to take an entire week of troubleshooting to try to fix. Yeah. Hello? There's a cave, and there's some lag. We do want to set the brightness. It is bright already. Okay. Okay, so see, the tick is taking way too long. Way too long. Although if we stand here, it might actually improve itself. That seems to be the... Okay, that seems to be the way to do it. Let's go ahead and stand here for a minute. Let's see if it improves, because what I was doing yesterday when it was working was letting it catch up. What that means is, basically you load the world and then stand there until the debug pie adjusts to the point where it's no longer got the tick taking so much time. There we go. Proper English, obviously. Let's just go ahead and switch it out of full screen again and back in, because that seems to make a big difference. Ah, yes, there we go. Out of full screen, and now the tick is speeding up tremendously. It seems to be just toggling the full screen thing that makes such a big difference. Whoop, we got a lag spike there, but seems to be okay. Seems to be okay. This is really weird why the full screen has that much of an effect on it. No idea why, but it does. So let's let this improve a little bit more. Keep decreasing the tick's time. Okay, that seems to be where it's stabilizing. So now, let's enter full screen. We should... Whoop, that would be controls, not full screen. There we go. Now it should stay there. It should stay there. The debug pie is slowly filling up a little bit, but it doesn't appear to be going all the way. It appears to be somewhat stable. Without those meters, we're getting over 200. Oh, nice. Oh, actually, 175. Okay. Well, that's pretty close. Pretty close to 200. That is good. That is good. And with the debug pies... Okay. That is totally doable. And VSync gets us to where? VSync gets us to in the 50s. Just slightly below 60. That is totally acceptable. Okay. Let's disable that VSync thing. Nope, not full screen. We don't want to disable full screen. We want to disable VSync. Okay, so it seems like the trick... with this thing, this particular lag issue... Whoa, okay, we're getting the tick taking a lot more time now. But it seems like this particular lag issue, the trick is to wait. Let's disable full screen again. That worked last time to get it to speed up. I don't know what's going on. If you guys have any theories why it's doing this, it's the textures that are taking the biggest time. But why toggling full screen makes such a big difference to the tick time taking less time. That's weird. And let's turn on full screen again, now that it is sped up. And now it's okay. Well then, that is a little bit weird, but we should be able to go and explore now, and see if this chunk loading thing is going to give us some problems or not. Oh, root.tick.textures.display update, it said. Normally the textures only has unspecified in here, but this... Okay, so for a moment, display update took too long. But it's obviously at the moment is taking about, what's that say, like 0.1% or something? Okay. So let's start heading around and see. The frame rate is not what we like it to be, but it is somewhat okay. Okay, this is looking... it's looking like the tick is taking even longer and longer and longer the longer that we walk. And it looks like we almost fell down the other side of the mountain. Let's turn on VSync. That should give some extra system resources to dealing with whatever else is needing to be dealt with for Minecraft. So let's do that. Let's not generate unnecessary frames. 13 FPS, 24, 5. Okay. Oh, and when it did that, the CPU jumped into the 70s. The upper 70s, I think it was. It's in the 80s now. And the 70s. Whoa, okay, 85% CPU. That's weird. Okay, well then, this is amplified, to be fair. Okay, let's switch out of full screen because that seems to make a big difference somehow. It is seeming to have the opposite effect of what it did the other day. Yesterday, entering full screen sped it up a lot. Now, exiting full screen seems to speed it up a lot. That is weird. Really weird. Really weird. Doesn't make any sense at all. But here's the thing. With VSync on, you can see it's trying to VSync it to 20 FPS. Not sure why it's doing that. That is weird. But if we enter full screen, then VSync works properly. There we go. Now VSync is syncing it to 60. That is really weird, no idea why it does that, but it does. But, oh! Well, on the bright side, that different chunk loading method, we just loaded a couple of big mountain chunks in there, and it didn't lag the frame rate. We didn't get a giant lag spike, and we didn't get any log messages saying that the chunk was taking too long to load. We didn't get any of that, so that's a good sign. Oh, root.tick took too long. But root.gameRenderer is the thing that loads the chunks. And, oh, root.tick.level.blocks.getChunk said that once. But it's not giving us what I was getting before, earlier. I don't know if it was earlier in the stream or yesterday, but was getting the actual chunk loading the what's it called? Game renderer, the second menu here on the Pi, was taking way too long to load. The terrain, what was it? Yeah, I think it was the terrain was taking too long. And it was doing that not just in Amplified, but it was doing it in the other one as well. So it seems that changing that particular setting that we just did, seems like that changed, improved the... Oh, sugarcane. Seems like that improved the whole... Oh, wow, that's a giant mountain. Yeah! We just loaded a giant mountain and it did not give us a massive frame rate spike, or drop, or whatever you call it, spike in dropping. Yeah, so that is looking very good, so I think we need to keep that setting on. We are still getting a couple of drops in frame rate, but this is doing very nicely. We are walking around and it is getting lower, but it's not getting long, huge, massive drops like we were getting before. So this is good. Yeah, you can see we're walking around. It's not lagging our frame rate to wait for these chunks. They're just not coming in yet. So there we go. So let's just hang out here and wait. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's keep that. Let's keep that setting on then. That speeds it up a lot. And let's see. This is not a very big lava flow. We want to find a bigger one because we want to find what really, yesterday when I tried this in the amplified mode, there was a giant lava flow that set a whole bunch of trees on fire and things, and it really started slowing the frame rate down. This might do it. Really started slowing the frame rate down while it was doing chunk updates. So as it is, let's stand here and watch and see if our frame rate stays as good as it should be. Now, okay, so CPU is 65, 68, 75, it was for a bit there. Okay. Oh, nice! Okay, so we're getting some good, solid frame rate. This is nice. Okay, so it's really weird how we have these intermittent problems. That's the hardest thing to track down. That's always the hardest. With computers, intermittent problems are always the hardest to track down. But so far, we have not gotten any crazy lag spikes from chunk updates. So let's go ahead and just get some lava. Try to help this along a little bit. There we go, there we go, there we go. And let's send that down the mountain. It'll be coming around down the mountain when it comes, and it's gonna go down. But this exact situation, except there were a little bit more trees, but this exact situation yesterday was giving massive lag spikes down to like 3, 2 FPS, that kind of stuff. But now, we're staying around 40, which is very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. We should be seeing some more trees starting on fire pretty soon. Oh wow, and it's going to go all the way down there. Oh, we're getting some frame rate. That's root.tick though, not root.gameRenderer. Actually, oh, root.gameRenderer for a second there, but it is done. Okay then. So it looks like we're on to something. Every single one of these streams, it seems like we're learning something. So that's good. So we learned that that particular change to the chunk loading really helps a lot. Okay, that was a bit of a frame rate spike for a minute there. But it seems to be okay. Seems to be staying stable. Yes, okay, so we're getting a little bit of a drop. Do we have VSync on right now? We do, okay. That's good to know. Should we turn VSync off? Yes, might as well. And see what it does. Oh, yes, and what it also does is messes with the whole full screen thing. For some reason. Okay, so we're getting some okay frame rate. VSync back on. There we go. Well, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is interesting indeed. We are getting okay. Game renderer is taking a little bit more. But so far no errors from it. Which is good. Except for maybe one earlier. Okay, this is good. This is very good. This is very good indeed. It looks like we have improved things a whole lot. What do you think? Do you guys think that we should start a thinking pack next week? Do you think it's running stable enough that we can do that? Or is it not running stable enough yet? Because we are still getting lag spikes every so often. But we are currently in amplified mode and not having any serious problems. Let's go ahead and time set. There we go. Yep, okay, we got some more trees going here. Whoop, there we go, we got a lag spike. I don't know, do you guys think it is excuse me, based on what you have seen so far, do you think it is stable enough to make it worth trying and then having possibly to reset if things really go wrong? Or what? That is the question. And we have dead silence at the moment. Okay. Well then. This is nice. We're staying around 25 FPS with a whole lot of chunk updates going on, which was really causing a problem yesterday, but it is not today. Let's go down on the ground, though. Let's see this from a close-up perspective and see what it does to our frame rate. Nice! Okay. Okay, so we're not getting a lot of chunk slowdowns like we were yesterday. Okay. This is nice. So far this is playable. Okay, this is good, this is good, this is good indeed. That one appears to be done, but this one appears to be just starting. Yep, the fire down here is spreading. Okay, that's interesting. And, okay, that one's going to spread for a while. And that one's going to spread for a while as well. What's in here? This is an odd-looking cave entrance, very flat. Okay. Let's do some exploring in the cave. Oh, yeah, you were saying test other dimensions. Forgot about that. Okay. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. This appears to be stable for us. Very nice. Okay. Head out of here, go back into the test super flat, and try the different dimensions, and see how that goes. So, we want to test the Galacticraft dimensions. We also want to test the nether and the end and all that stuff too. So here would be a Galacticraft dimension. Now here's a question. Oh wow. Root.tick.textures taking a lot, but it seems to be stabilizing to a degree. We might need to do the full screen trick every single time we switch a world. That's possible. Yeah, you can see the tick speed is speeding up. But also, the limit, the VSync is slowing down as well. Okay, now full screen again. There we go, now we're getting better. Okay, So we will see the display update limit decrease, probably. Here's a question. Is it possible to build a nether portal on the asteroids? Let's try that. Obsidian. Oh, of course there's no oxygen here, which means that a fire won't start. So it's possible that the portal won't start either. Obsidian, we want a flint and steel. Okay. Slot 3, let's try building a nether portal. Will it take us to the nether right from here? So far this is pretty stable. This is nice, this is nice, this is nice. Okay. Okay. Another block. Another block, nether block. We want a flint and steel. It's not lighting the portal. Okay, so it looks like you cannot... It's possible if you are in... If you're in an oxygen environment on another planet like this, it may be possible to light a portal, possibly, but we don't have an oxygen environment right now, and it's not worth taking the time to build one. So, let's go ahead and leave here. And let's see if, with VSync on, if the frame rate will stay stable enough. Let's try to go through most of the dimensions. Will the frame rate stay stable enough to get us different places and make it playable? 15 frames per second. Okay, that's reasonable, I guess. Reasonable. 6 is not reasonable. Okay, you know what? Maybe it's time to disable those rocket particles. That may be worth doing. Okay, let's jump out of the rocket. Can we do that? Can we jump out of the rocket here? Nope. Yes? Okay, apparently not. Oh wait, what about right left click? Nope, can't do that. Okay. Was gonna try to jump out and then do this trip again. Okay, so what we'll do here, because that was massively slow. So, I don't know. I kind of want to leave the rocket particles on. I don't know if you guys agree or not. Let's go to the overworld launch and let us head down here. And whoop, we're down already. Okay then. So what we want to do is we want to head to the nether, see if that will work. Obsidian, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. What? Like this. There we go. There we go. Nice, okay. Time to go through. Oh wow, that was quick. No loading when you're in creative mode. Okay then. So, in the nether, is everything gonna work okay? And there is no super flat nether. It's a regular nether. 20 FPS, 40 FPS. Slowly speeding up, possibly. Although the CPU is doing nice, doing in the 50 range. That's okay. Okay, so it looks like this is going okay so far. It's a little bit dark, a little bit hard to see in here. But it is, in fact, running. That different chunk loading method seems to have helped a whole lot. That's nice. That is nice indeed. We got some lava over there. We've got... Okay, so we're doing definitely above 30. We're staying above 30 most of the time. So that is very nice. Shall we hit a pigman and see what happens? Oh, they're just gonna ignore me. Okay, never mind. Creative mode, that's one of the things with creative mode. Does the nether still have that place up above it that you can build in? If you can get there? Let's find out. Up here. Oh, what else do we have? Oh, just some random nether stuff. Okay, let's head up. Try to get through. Since we're in creative mode, let's see if there is an area up here that we can build above the ceiling of the nether. Oh, nice. Okay. Yep, so there's still an area up here, and we can still build there, I believe? Yes, we can. Nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and head back, and then head to the end. like this. There we go. And through we go. Okay then. Here we are back home. And we can now head to the end. We need to make an end portal. Let's get... Oh yeah, it's end, it's called this stuff. End portal. And we want the Eyes of Ender. I think that's all that you need, possibly. Let's go for that. End portal. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. We want 1, 2, 3. Is the end going to work without any serious issues? Now, the only other thing to test is whether every mod, whether there's any significant problems with any mods. That's the question. So, Chisel, we did test connected textures a little bit. They didn't seem to give us any problems. Okay, let's go through and see. Okay, so far we're good. So far we're good. Throw an Eye of Ender just for fun. Let's grab an Ender Pearl just for fun and see if it slows anything down. It shouldn't, but we'll see. Okay. Ender Pearl, nice. Done. Oh, nice. So it slowed us down to 30 in the end here. But 30 is still acceptable. 30 is still very much acceptable. Is this the version, this is 1.12, is this the version where they have all the new end stuff? Whoa, 8 FPS for a moment there. Ugh, that's not too good, but it seems to be stabilizing at 30. I don't know if you guys have any opinions on, is it going to be good enough to play or not? We don't really want to have to restart the world if things go wrong, but maybe we should just try it anyway. Whoa, okay. That's where Ender Pearls can give you problems if you miss your shot. This looks like an outlying island. Is this the version where they have all the extended end and things? Let's go change our render distance up so that we can find out. 24. There we go. Up the distance goes. Whoa, okay, that is a giant island. That is quite the island there. Okay, so 20 FPS on 24 chunks. That's pretty good. Anything... Oh! Oh, is that something far away there? That's possible. Well, okay, there's a random block here. It looks like this is not the version where they changed all the end stuff, so... I don't see anything else. And our frame rate is doing okay. For 24 chunks, though, that's doing really well. Really well indeed. Okay, well, let's try shrinking it to 12. Nice, okay. Yeah, we can see something here, and the frame rate seems to be okay. You know what? This may actually work. It's weird, because it looks like it's going to work, and then it randomly shifts down the frame rate dramatically. It makes no sense, but it happens. But it seems okay, usually, here. Hello? Try punching Enderman. No frame rate problems with that. Okay. Okay, so looks good so far. Okay, should we test any other dimensions? Perhaps the moon, perhaps the rocket dimension. Can we actually go from the end to the moon? That's a question. And the answer would be... to be determined. Do you guys have any idea, root.tick.textures, what exactly it's doing? Like, is that the rendering the textures onto the screen? Like, basically what I'm wondering is, would that take longer with a longer render distance, or because it's just the same textures over and over, if maybe it doesn't take more resources, or if maybe it does. Oh, so it looks like we can launch from the end. That will be interesting. That will be interesting indeed. We probably cannot get back to the end, but we can get from the end, it looks like. Mysterious forces are at play and the gyroscopes are spinning wildly. Okay, so apparently you cannot get out of the end that way. Let's do game rule, keep inventory. And / kill. There we go. Get back to the main place here. There we go. Oh, hello. Village. Nice. Okay, so it looks okay so far. We played around in Amplified for a while. Now we're playing around with different dimensions and things. I don't know. We're still having enough problems that I'm kind of nervous about starting a thinking pack properly next week, because we're going to have some more problems, most likely. But it, I don't know. It seems like it's pretty stable, though. Like, it seems like it's stable enough that we could try different things, and it might actually work okay. So that's a good question. That is the big question of the day. Is it good enough? Is it not good enough? That's the question. But the rocket's doing nicely. That's very nice indeed. Okay, so we wanted to test the moon or Mars? Or the space station? That is the question. That is the question. Which is the most likely to have a slowdown in frame rate? The Mars and the moon should be about the same. The space station has nothing else around it, so it should be faster. So I guess let's go for the moon next. Launch. There we go. Taking one giant leap. Oh, wow. Speaking of giant leap, we can just go down at full speed because we don't need to slow down. We're in creative mode. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. And it exploded. Okay, we got a bit of a lag spike while it exploded. But that is to be expected, I guess, with a mod pack like this. Okay, it's looking good. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, so far our frame rate is staying 40. 40? This is faster than the end, that's for sure. The end was around 30. We're staying around 45 here. This is looking good. This is indeed looking good. Okay then. Do we find a moon village anywhere? Oh, you know what? We should check, though, the boss fight. If we can find the boss fight... Yeah, let's look for that. Oh, and we're on 12 chunks as well, aren't we? Yeah, we're still on 12 chunks. Okay. But if we can find that boss fight, then we can certainly do some... Is that it? We can see some slowdowns on our frame rate. Oh, down here... Let's do night vision. There we go. Oh, nope, that's a dead end. Okay, you know what we should do is spectator mode to find that dungeon. / what's it? Oh, game mode. There we go. Game mode. Spectator. There we go, let's head underground and find there's a whole bunch of caves here. We are getting a little bit of frame rate slowdown, but that's okay because spectator mode in caves and things, that's to be expected. Okay, so where would that particular... We're looking for a dungeon with a giant monster in it, basically, is what we're looking for. So, is that it? That looks bigger, like a bigger underground area, and it is in fact not it. It's just a bigger cave. Okay. Oh, this takes us right down to bedrock layer. Wow. Didn't know the moon caves actually took you down that far. Well then, that is good to know. Wow, this is a giant cave at bedrock. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and keep exploring. Keep exploring. Is there a way... Was there an item to help us better find things here? Let's see. Game mode creative. Okay, what do we got here? We've got Galactic Craft. We want to find where is that giant dungeon boss fight to see if it will actually run with a reasonable frame rate. And we've got... Yeah, Galactic Craft blocks. That's good. Galactic Craft items. Okay. Anything that says tracking the bosses. Shield controller. What's that? Protects armor from all forms of damage, including atmospheric corrosion. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. Let's see. Any other items down here? Liquid nitrogen, sensor lens. We've got rocket engines, oxygen concentrators, empty canisters. Maybe this is our problem. Buggy storage box. That's where all the bugs are coming from. That's gotta be the problem, why things are so buggy around here. Let's see. We got a buggy, we got two buggies, a buggy seat, a buggy wheel. There's so many buggy things around here. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Ambient thermal controller. Okay. We've got batteries. We've got pre-launch checklist. Flag. Dungeon locator. Creative only. Yes! That is what we're looking for. Okay, dungeon locator. Okay, let's get out of here first of all. Slash teleport 100 blocks up. So we can get out of the ground. There we go. Okay, dungeon this way. This way to the dungeon. This way to the dungeon. And after teleporting, we're still getting good frame rate, so that's good. That is not... What? There's some more logs here saying Galactic Craft core loaded a new chunk, is causing world gen lag. Please report this to the mod's issue tracker. This log can be disabled in the Forge config. Okay, well, we know there's going to be some chunk loading lag, so we don't need to worry about that. It's not an issue with the mod, it's just an issue with the chunk loading, generally. Okay. We're heading, whoa, okay, back here. Where are we going? Go forward. And follow the compass, follow the compass, follow the compass, follow the compass, and it's gonna take us to... Okay, the compass spun around, but now it's back to normal. That's weird. So we'll just head along here until it takes us to the dungeon to see if we get some serious lag from the boss fight or not. Compass is struggling to make up its mind as to where it wants to go. You can see the needle there is kind of waving around all over the place. Oh, is this it? Let's check this out. It's probably not it. Oh, is it? I think it is. Yes, this is the dungeon. This is indeed the dungeon. Okay then. Nice. Okay, we got some creepers, we got some spiders, we got all kinds of things in here. We've got, okay, let's head over here. Skeletons. We've got some more mobs. But we got some good frame rate. That is the good thing. Endermans, okay. We want to head through here and find this here. Whoop, we're stuck in a cobweb. We want to find the boss battle room, which will be right about over here. Now the two bosses are a little bit different, so I don't know if one of them would cause an issue while the other one doesn't, or something. But we're about to find the moon boss and see what is going on here. Oh wow, okay, so there's actually spawners for skeletons here. Interesting. Oh, what's this? And that's got to be the boss room over there, I guess. What is this? There are, ooh, cans of food. Raw meteoric iron, redstone, Civ Fortune 1. What is that? Okay. Golden apples. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh, we got an error in the log. Hang on. What does it say here? It says... where is it? Error thrown whilst accessing JEI internals. Okay. Well, that's okay. JEI can have a few issues. As long as it is helpful, it will be helpful. It doesn't have to grab every item properly, as long as it works, doesn't slow the game down too much, and that is not the boss room. Okay, here we go. This is the boss room. Okay! Oh, I don't remember that boss. Did they change it? That's like a giant wither skeleton. Was the giant creeper on Mars? I think it might have been on Mars. Okay. Well, we've got 40 FPS. That is actually doable. Oh, boss despawned. When you leave the room, the boss despawns. Okay, that's interesting. Can we actually do some damage to this boss here? How do critical hits work on the moon? Because you kind of jump for quite a long time. Okay then. Let's try... I don't know. Well, it seems to be working okay. Let's try giving ourselves... We want to not die somehow. Let's get some... We want to see the boss attack and see if it has any crazy effects that'll slow things down or not. That's what we want to do. Which, of course, requires being in survival mode. So, let's go for armor. Is diamond the best? Oh! Diamond is not the best. We've got... Wait, it is the best. Okay, it's still... Wait. +9 armor. Oh, Desh is better. Titanium is even better. Okay. Yes, let's go for titanium. Titanium! Titanium. Okay, there we go. We got helmet, chestplate, leggings, and boots. Nice, okay. Grab all these. Wow, they really go flying. Okay. We want to put... Okay, if we do this, we have to... Oh. This is going to take a while if we're going to fight the boss properly, because we don't have any oxygen gear, so we're going to die. So that is not too good. Let's give ourselves loads of health. There was a command to give yourself a lot of health. /effect. What do we have? Absorption? Nope. We want to give ourselves 100 hearts is what we're looking for. Oh, health boost. That's got to do it. Health boost. Health boost, let's go for... Whoa! What happened? Is the boss attacking? I think he just started to attack. He just, like, launched us into the lava over here. We're in creative mode. Silly boss guy, we're in creative mode. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing, sir? What do you think you're doing, sir? Okay, health boost, we want to... change... Let's go for, what do you do? It doesn't give me... I'm trying to find a thing to say what to type in. Let's try help. Oh, there we go. Effect. Player effect seconds. Seconds, let's go for a whole bunch of seconds. Amplifier, let's go for 1,000. There we go. Oh, whoops, the number you've entered 1,000 is too big. It must be at the most 255. Okay, 255. We got a massive health boost. We should be able to survive, theoretically. Let's do /game mode creative, because we don't want to lose this spot. We don't want to lose this spot, so we'll have this ready to go. And then game mode survival. There we go. Oxygen status invalid. What? Okay, the boss just comes and picks us up. Okay, whoa! We got our hearts are all black because of the withering effect. But you can see the frame rate is doing okay. We can actually do some fighting of this boss in survival mode. That is nice. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is actually going well. This is actually going well. We should fight bosses with this much health all the time. We got like 255 hearts or something. Whoop, and you died. Whoa, okay, what happened there? No idea. Anyways, we have successfully fought that boss, and it didn't slow our frame rate down too much. So I guess we can assume that the other boss will be okay, I guess. so that is okay. We seem to be getting some good frame rate all the time. We don't seem to be having any problems with it significantly. So that's good. I guess I will see if there's anything else that I can improve off camera. And like just go through all the configs and things and see. But for now, it seems like we're doing very well indeed. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. Hopefully we can start a thinking pack next week. Unless something comes up that's like, whoop, that is not gonna work. But, assuming it's gonna work, we should be able to start it next week. So, that would be good. So in any case, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and see you guys next week.